Ooh, one thing I find weird is when people always announce their dreams but then never meaningfully work on them. Like, if you have a dream, you should be working on it. Like, whenever I say I got something I'm working on, I am actually fucking working on it. Like, I'm talking about like a book that I'm trying to write and shit. I have outlines for books and stuff that I like work on and add shit to, like the Middle Manual of Sin and shit like that. Because I feel like starting my own cult for laughs. Yeah. Because that's what you should do, especially with religious context. You should make your own religion about your own identity and your own interaction with the truth and your own interaction with the world that you believe in. Because if you believe in the world, you believe in something objective outside of your knowledge, and it's sort of unknowable. You know, when I look around, there's an observational dome that I'm capable of seeing. There's a party going on over there. It's probably a birthday party, an Earth Day party, whatever. But there's an observational dome that I have, access to. I also have access to crystallized memories based on, whatever my brain has interacted with and whatever I could, call back as a memory, how basic memory works. But that's not, everything. Even within this dome, I don't know what's in that lake. There's an alligator somewhere in the fucking lake. I saw it once. It was like breathing, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever fucking realized, that there's things that just lurk right beneath the surface. And that's basically all of life. You could just see me and then be like, oh, this is a normal guy. But then I could just be an international terrorist. You would not know. You outside of your limited observational dome is just an infinite, series of pain and pleasure, all sorts of nonsense. And, you could describe that network of nonsense as a god. You can describe it as multiple gods. You could figure out and deduce, sort of a hierarchy of, interactions between the various abstractions and constructs that you note as gods, such that you can affect the system of the higher acting upon the lower with respect to law. That's what people are talking about when they talk about alchemy, and that's also what people are talking about with basic science. The basic laws of thermodynamics means that these interactions should more or less line up with our previous interactions following this guideline. And if we note any inconsistencies, it's probably either we're finding something completely new or, we did something wrong ourselves. But that's just what it means to have a god. It's just a point to the law that orients yourself. You can make your own god. That's what being an existentialist is. That's what being an atheist is. When I say God is an atheist, I mean that the most powerful fucking being that can enact its will upon its immediate environment, internally and externally, should not believe in any higher beings because it's the most powerful being. That's just how math works. If you're the biggest number, then you're the biggest number. And then when you look at it, it's like, whoa, biggest number, isn't that a contradiction? Yeah, that's the kind of things you get into when you're talking about the theology and philosophy and like the interactions of the infinite with the finite. What is the biggest number? That's like an invisible pink unicorn. It's non-existent, but the fact that we can describe it means that there's a non-real existence outside of our tangible ability to experience it. And whether or not that unreal experience exists in an infinitesimally small amount, observable at all locations, or, whatever mumbo jumbo you want to fucking spill at it, it either exists or it exists enough to pretend to exist. And such that it exists enough to pretend to exist, why not just fucking go ham? Why not just say that you're a fucking new god? Just declare yourself a new god. The new god of your own kneecaps. I'm the god of my kneecaps. And like, wherever you decide your kneecaps to go, you're the god of those kneecaps. You made those kneecaps, you worked them, they've been supporting you, and they're your kneecaps. For all intents and purposes, people will know that those are your kneecaps. Who gives a shit? Just have fucking fun.